Hi Tim, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, mate. Been a while since I've seen
Yeah. I hope you're keeping well. I understand you need a little bit of
you.
assistance from us and maybe some of our viewers and members. So how can we help?
Yes, we do indeed. We're going through the process now uh, of sorting through all of the rarities that have been reported in the county in 2024. Um, and what we're looking for is supporting evidence, whether that's a description or photographs or whatever, for each of those rarities.
Okay,
Um, and so we've had for 2024, we actually had 1,381 records that that have been logged on, bird track and eBird and what have you, of
okay,
different rare Essex rarities that people have seen. Um, Now, a number of those are the same bird that have been, you wouldn't believe, I can't remember how many there were for the canvasback, but lots and lots of people, listed the canvasback.
I
So
can
out of
imagine.
that, 1,300, there's probably about 200 that are individual birds.
Hmm.
And for a lot of those, we've already got supporting information. We've got evidence that we can then share with our ID panel for them to review. But there's still another 78, I think, that we're looking for, and that's what we're asking for help on. If anybody's got photographs or could do us a description that they can submit through the on our online uh, through the online form, that would
Okay.
really help us a lot. That would be much appreciated.
So what sort of birds are we
Um,
talking about? The 78 that you're kind of hoping to get further information from?
well, if I can press the right buttons and share the screen with you. So can you see that now?
Something's coming. Here we go. Yes, I can.
So I've got various spreadsheets, some enormous spreadsheets, in fact. Um, I mean, the full database for 2024 is 624,000 lines of data. So this is only a
Good
small
grief.
portion of it for the rarities. So I've got this list here, and these are the ones that we're still looking for. And this is what we will put up on the website. And if you could share that as well with everybody on Mailchimp and tell people where they can find it,
Yeah, of course I
um,
can.
that'd be great. But basically, it's going to be a list of the species, of the site where it's seen, and the dates where it's seen. So
Okay.
if you saw the black kite, for example, or saw a black kite at Woodford Green in early May, and you got a photograph of it, please send it to us.
Hmm.
ebwsrecords@gmail.com will come through to me. Similarly, the crane at Anfield Water, that's this line here,
Yep.
crane at Anfield Water, 26th of January. Um, there's a number of green-winged teals that have been seen in different places around the county, for which I don't have, at the moment, don't have a description or records for. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting birds there.
Okay.
White storks, woodlarks.
So
Yeah,
these are
so
birds.
that
Sorry. So these are birds that basically have been recorded by somebody or people out there, but we haven't got enough data to sort of substantiate the record or to confirm the record at the moment.
exactly. So when we get for the year, when we get the download from Bird Track or eBird,
Hmm.
this has come from that sort of consolidated list from all the different sources that we get data from.
Okay.
Going through that list, we've picked out the birds that are rare for Essex. And if you're not sure what those are, you can find that on the website. If you go to the Essex bird list, you'll see the ones that are labelled in the status column on the Essex bird list. It says EBWS description,
Hmm.
and they're the ones for which we want descriptions. So these are the birds that are rare for Essex, for which all the only information we have, for example, is this one, redneck grebe, Rabness, 31st of January. That's all I know about it.
Okay.
And but to share with the ID panel, we really need a photograph or a description to go with it.
Okay, so we're going to run through, I think, in a short while, how people can submit that information. So, as Tim said, hopefully by the time this goes out, we'll have the list uploaded onto our website. So you'll be able to have a look at the website, see what's on there. And if you have seen any of those birds, there'll be information on how you can submit the descriptions and hopefully photographs through to Tim. So shall we run through on our website how easy that is to do?
Yep.
So can you see the website?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so from our homepage, so it's ebws.org.uk. If you hover over the bird recording tab, and then just here you've got submit a species description. So the Essex bird list, by the way, that Tim referred to is just down here as well. I'll just click on that first.
Yeah.
So just down here, you have
There
to
you
remind.
go.
There we go. Yep.
You
So
stop.
the black brant is a description species for the Essex Birdwatching Society. What's the difference with this one, Tim?
Ah, that's a good one. Yeah, so red-breasted goose is actually a national rarity.
Okay.
So that's why it says BBRC, which is the British Birds Rarities Committee, and they want a description and supporting evidence if you see a national rarity. So that goes to them. And if you do see a national rarity and submit something to BBRC, can you CC us on it as well so that we're aware that it's been submitted?
Cool. If someone sends the information for a national rarity through to us first, do we forward that on as well?
Not unless they haven't already done so. From time to time, I can check what's been logged with BBRC,
Yeah.
but I think it would be best if people can send it themselves. I mean, I can submit it, and actually, at the end of the year, last year, I did get approached by BBRC saying they've heard that such and such a bird has been seen, but they got no evidence for it, and I managed to share with them, what we've got.
Okay. Fantastic. So this is all quite easy actually because it's color coded, isn't it? So, the blue stuff is the stuff that we want descriptions of. The green is the nationals. So I'll go back up to the top here, and if we go to bird recording, and then we're going to submit a species description. Now,
Yeah.
there are two ways that people can do that, aren't there?
Yeah. So there's the system that's been around for for some time, where you can download a Word document and fill it in and send that through to us. Again, the email address is ebwsrecords@gmail.com, or, and this is much, much simpler, you can use the online form.
Right. I'm going to click that. There we go.
Right. So you saw a glossy ibis, I think.
I did.
And you're not the only. There's a few been seen around the county,
Okay.
but it's good to get this as much information as we can. When did
Okay.
you see? Yeah.
I think it was on the 14th of September, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And I only saw it that one day, so I'll put that in as well.
Yep.
There we go. Time of day, I can't remember exactly. So how important is that? If I can't remember, I could get the data with my photograph, to be fair, but
it's useful. But again, this comes back to the thing about how many birds were there. So and this was at Wallasey. So if you saw one at Wallasey at 10 o'clock, and somebody saw one at Bowers at 10:05, they're going to be different birds.
Gotcha. Okay.
For sure. So if you can put the time of day.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll see if I can find that on one of my pictures.
Yeah.
Quick. 15:16. There you go, handy. Right. So if I go time of day.
Yeah.
So where are we? 15 and then 16. There we go.
Yeah.
Length of time seen. Well, it was there for, I would say, a good hour, I reckon. So just put in minutes or
an hour. Okay.
Number of birds. There was just the one. Now, age, sex. I think it was an adult bird. So is that useful information if I just put adult?
Well, again, yes, because I mean, if you can sex them, maybe once it helps us to understand how many different individuals have been if we know that there are males, females, juveniles, whatever. Yeah.
Okay. So location is going to be Wallasey Island. So
yeah, so that should come up. There you go.
Start typing. Just click that. Now, grid reference. How important is that important?
And that is useful. Yes.
Okay.
Very useful because it helps. This is where if you think our data gets used by environmental consultants, for example, who are doing an environmental impact assessment for a bird, a development plan in a particular area, they'll be looking for information on the basis of grid references, and they will sort through the data or on the basis of grid references rather than location names. Because lots of people have lots of different names for the same place. So actually, grid reference is absolutely key. So yeah, please.
So
It's good to
I
get
don't know
that
the
right.
grid reference for Wallasey, but I think if I click here,
Yeah,
can you see the
here
tool?
we go.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
Now, I know
As long
Wallasey's
as
not
you
up
know
here.
where,
So let's go down here. Hang on.
as long as you know where it is on the map, there it is.
Oh, thank goodness for that. There we go.
Yeah.
So Wallasey is TQ9693. So can I just click that? Oh, look at that. There you go. Save changes.
That's is all thanks to Andrew Duckett who set all this up.
Yeah. How easy is that? Now, is this a returning bird? So that I don't think
Don't
it
know.
was. So I'll just leave
Probably
that.
not.
And what species were seen alongside this bird? To be fair, when I saw it, it was pretty much on its own. But I'm assuming, is that kind of as a size reference? Is that question asked, do you think? Or
That can help,
yeah,
yes.
okay. I'm going to click next because I didn't see anything else alongside it anyway. So here we go. Right. So I've got to put my name in.
Yeah.
That's fine. Don't have to put any of these details in. No
You don't
percent.
have to, no.
Okay. So I'm going to leave those blank just for the moment.
Yeah.
The other observer present, good old Steve Grimwade, we'd done a ringing session in the morning and we popped down to Wallasey in the afternoon. So
Okay.
I'm dropping Steve in this as well. He was there. There we go. Right.
Yeah.
The observation. So optics used. Okay. So again, these things don't need to be filled in, or is it useful information
It's
to you?
just well, it's just useful for the ID panel when they can see whether somebody's been looking at something just by the naked eye that was 300 yards away, or whether they've got
Gotcha. Okay.
scopes and bins and what have you.
And the bird, I mean, to be fair, I kind of flushed it from a ditch, so it was probably no more than about 20 yards away when I first saw it, literally.
Okay, brilliant.
Photos were taken, so I can upload a photo.
Yes, please. And that really does help.
Let's just see if I can find it. I don't know if you can see can you see my
I
menus?
can see you.
Okay.
Yeah, be careful what you're showing him at, because we're
Yeah.
looking at your personal filing system here.
Okay, so that's that, and that's that. Okay. And then yeah, so weather conditions, I mean it was grey and overcast, typical. Wind direction and force, I honestly don't know. I can't remember.
Okay, we'll just leave it. Yeah.
Visibility distance, that was okay to be fair. So can I just put
Yeah.
okay, or do you want me
Yeah,
to?
yeah.
So I take it anything I put in here, you're going to kind of get an email of. Is that?
I can show you what comes through to me. I mean, basically, what you've written down on here comes through to me as a PDF.
Gotcha.
It automatically gets translated into PDF, and that automatically comes to me and to Andrew Duckett as well.
Okay. So I
Yeah.
reckon cloud cover was about 90%. It's pretty
Okay,
cloudy.
great day.
And I'm just going to put very confident.
Yeah,
Okay, right.
yeah. A lot of
Next.
people might put 100% or 50% or whatever if they're
Okay.
down.
And then it's a
So,
description.
so
Okay.
if there's any other details that you think are relevant to this, you can write notes in here.
Okay. So, I mean, if I submit a photograph that obviously shows the key identification features, if it's a clear enough photograph, do you need me to also write a detailed feather description stuff or?
I think this becomes more important when you don't have a photograph.
Okay.
If you can put in here sort of certain features that are particular to that species that help distinguish it from a similar species.
Okay. All right. So if I just
Like,
put,
I don't know whether you've seen a honey buzzard and you're giving a noting what you saw that told you it was a honey buzzard and not a common buzzard.
right. Okay. Okay.
You can stick that stuff down here. But if you've got a photo that is clear, then that's done the job really.
Right.
So this
Okay.
is more relevant when you don't have photos.
With curved bill, oops, and dark purple tinged plumage. I mean, obviously, we're doing this live, so if I was actually doing this without recording, I'd probably put a bit more information in there. But just for the moment,
Yeah.
I'll just pop that
Yeah.
on there. Okay.
Okay.
But people can obviously put as much information as they want to on there. So I'm just going to click
Yeah.
submit.
Submit.
There we go. and then it says thank you very much. So I'm going to stop my screen share now.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I don't know how quickly it'll come through to you.
Well, I'm just checking actually, seeing as we're doing this, I'm going to my emails, and this will come through to.
You know what? That's really quick and easy because obviously we're recording and talking as well. But if I was sitting doing that on my own and concentrating with a cup of coffee, it would only take a few minutes, and you
And it
can
works on your mobile phone. You can do
really
it from your, yeah, you can do it from your mobile. So, when you're sitting having a cup of tea and a sandwich in the Hyde or whatever, you can just note it down, bang, send it, and it'll come through.
easy. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
You can literally almost
very
do it
easy.
live.
Is it true? What? Sorry.
You could literally almost do it live, couldn't you, while you're in the hide? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm.
So that's another thing. I mean, is it a good idea for people to submit these fairly quickly so that details are fresh in your mind, particularly if you maybe didn't get a
I,
chance to get a photograph?
I think so. One of the problems we have had is that by the time we start going through the records and we've compiled the records for the previous year, because at the moment we're talking about 2024. Well,
Mm.
we're in October 25. And so I'm actually trying to go back to people and ask them what they saw in February last year. Well, that's that's a year and a half ago.
Right. Yeah.
Um, so if you hang on, it's just come up on my emails. There we go.
Ooh,
Boom.
excellent.
And if I can, I've got it on the screen there, so I could actually show you what comes through.
Okay.
Where's share? And share screen. That one.
Now I hope I really chose the right photo when we were doing that.
So tell me when you can see that.
Yeah, I can
So
see. Yeah,
yes, I think it's best to do this as quickly as you can. So that's
yep,
the PDF that comes straight through to me, and then
gotcha.
that's got all the information that you put on there.
Okay,
Uh,
brilliant.
description and where's the photo? I'm not sure why
I'm
the
assuming the
photo's not
photo
there.
comes. Does the photo come through as an attachment on the email? It looks like it.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
probably does.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it really is as simple as that. And then what happens to that is that I then package that up with all of the others that lots of the others that we get, and then I send that across to the ID panel for them to review and
Okay.
for them to go through and give their
I've got,
give their
I've got,
views on.
I've got a silly question.
Go on.
Why, why should I do this? Why is it so important?
Okay, it is important, and that isn't such a silly question. As we said before, and when you and I had the chat about the whole recording system in general, I think was it back in February when we had previously had a chat about this. I was saying then how the data that we gather and the data that we put together, it gets used by lots of people for lots of different purposes. It really does get used to support bird conservation and research, and it gets used, as I say, by consultants preparing environmental impact assessments and that sort of thing.
Mm.
So it's really important that what we share with others, that we're confident that it's of good quality. And that's particularly so, I think, for the rare species, because, by definition, there aren't many of them. So
Mm.
a single record for a rare species is of far more significance than, say, for the more common species.
Okay. And
So we have to have procedures in place to gather the evidence to support that. And we have to be confident that what we're sharing with others is as I say, of good quality, and this helps us to do that.
okay.
Um,
So I mean, obviously, this isn't. So, for example, I know this, so I'm kind of going to answer my own question, but then I'll bat it back to you as well. So, if I'm submitting a rarity description for something that I've seen, say for example, I find something at Ardley Reservoir,
mm,
and no one else sees it, and it's a
mm,
description species. So, I know because I'm aware of the situation that if I don't submit a description, there is a danger that the record may not be accepted. Is that true to say?
it may well not get through into the into the county records.
Okay.
So if there isn't a description or supporting evidence,
Mm.
so we really do want that. And as I've hinted at before, this isn't just about identification of species. This is also about being confident about the numbers in the county.
Right. Yeah.
That the same species could be reported several times in different places. Well, is that multiple birds or is it one bird? So it does help us, or helps the ID panel to answer that and to be confident about numbers as well as identification.
And it's not the fact that you're kind of, I haven't got to prove that I'm a good birder. It's not about that.
No,
or
it's not. It's not. But it is. It is about us as a society being confident that what we're doing is good and that we've got good systems in place to make sure that what we're sharing with others is of good quality. Which is why for any systems or procedures to be credible, then they do have to be applied equally to all species and all birders.
Yes.
And so that's why, however confident you are on whatever species it is, we do hope that you will send us some supporting evidence. And also, if we're challenged by others or externally, we've got some proof that we can back it up with.
Yeah.
And this is common practice. What we're doing here, it's not just Essex Birdwatching Society. All bird clubs and bird societies in the country, at the county bird clubs that are responsible for county records, they will all have similar processes in place. And it's not just birds. I mean, the other, natural history groups, the butterfly lepidopterist people and the bat people and all of those, they will all have similar systems in place, as indeed does the BBRC, the British Birds Rarities Committee. They follow the process that we have mirrors perfectly the process that the BBRC follows.
Right.
That they apply at national level. Obviously, we're just at county level. So this is what we're asking here, and what we're doing here is common practice, really, and it's just a sound way, I think, to be working and managing the information that we have.
Yeah, it's just kind of following due process, really. And one final thing. So, okay, I'm out. I either haven't got a camera or I've left my camera at home. I can give you a description. Would a sketch help, even if I can't draw? Because if you see a bird, if you see it quickly, there are certain features that make you think it's a specific species. So let's take something, I don't know, really easy. So a ring ouzel, a male ring ouzel, it's like a blackbird with a big white bib. So if I did a drawing of a blackbird with a white bib, would that be sufficient alongside a description? Does it help?
Absolutely. Well, it's interesting you say that, because I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking that that description section in the past, 30, 40 years ago, birders would have carried binoculars and a notebook. Nowadays, they tend to carry binoculars and a camera.
Yeah.
So in the past, people would have been taking notes and sketches. Now, some people still do. Our dear departed friend Paul Brasher, he was really good at that. And I did used to get records from him with little sketches of what he'd seen with his long-tailed skewers or with his or whatever that he'd seen out to sea, and he used to keep meticulous notes, and he'd scan that and then send us a copy of his notes. So yes, sketches can be really useful too. Excellent. But of course, that's somewhat superseded these days by cameras. I mean, I very rarely carry a camera, but many people do.
Yeah. Okay, good. So I think that probably covers it. Is there anything else that we haven't covered, Tim?
No, I think we'll put that list up, and if people can have a look at that list, and if you did see one of the species that's on there, then please, if you've got a photo or you could write a description for us, send it in, and that'll be very much appreciated. Thank you.
Perfect. So I'm now going to look at the list when you send it to me, go back through all my records and see if I can fill any of them in, because I might have seen one or two of them. You never know. I'll give it a go. But yeah, if anyone out there can do that, that would be much appreciated. So yeah, thanks very much indeed.
Thanks, Matt.
Good stuff. Thanks, Tim.